What is up, my beautiful people? We are back for episode 29. I can't believe it's already episode 29 of Cogs in the Machine. I'm a floor hugger. You guys know me, and you guys know my amazing, talented co host, Chakalaka. How are you doing this fine week?
I'm doing well. I'm actually getting how to put this. I'm feeling good about myself. I've been making a lot of progress in my growth, my personal journey growth, and yeah, every day is just a little bit better.
That's what I like to hear.
Oh,
How are you?
thank you.
How's your growth journey? Like, tell us a little bit if you want, share with us.
I've actually gone up in my weights. I've been packing on muscle, and yeah, just pushing myself to run like 2 miles a day, and there's that, and of course, I'm very settled in my new job. Like I'm pretty much like now like on everything. So I'm probably going to be training somebody pretty soon too. That's even crazy. I just learned the job and now I'm training somebody. It's crazy. A lot of responsibilities are coming my way.
That's what I like to hear. And man, you're so talented, and you just know shit, and I'm glad these opportunities are coming to you, man. I'm proud of you.
Oh, thank you, thank you.
How's everybody doing in the chat this week? We're going to talk about probably one of the topics we've talked about several times, but never really dove into games from 2017 because there was something in the water. The movies were amazing, the video games were on point, the music was popping. 2017 was a good year. And then 2018
Yep.
and 2019 and 2020. We know what happened after that. I'm just saying. What's your before we dive, because we're just gonna go with some lists and just talk about them because there's so many good good things that happen. What was your most memorable game or moment from 2017, Chakalaka?
Oh, geez, it's easily Nintendo. Okay, first off, we're going to be covering the Nintendo Switch and another upcoming episode of Cogs. And literally, we stopped at the good juicy part where it's like we were about to talk about 2017 Nintendo,
Mm-hmm.
and 2017 Nintendo was just basically on something. Like I don't know what it was, but basically they put out games of the generations like in 1 year, like multiple. Uh, so Breath of the Wild was easily my best memory of gaming in 2017. Um, I remember being at the midnight launch party for the Switch and Breath of the Wild. I remember playing it everywhere, handheld, docked, and it was like this new experience. And I think I put about 200 hours into that game. And
Oh, geez,
I never actually rolled credits because I didn't want to.
that's fair. Okay, that's fair.
Like I did everything but the final boss fight, and I watched the boss fight on YouTube, and it was very easy. Like watching the video, like it was like I was so overpowered that it was just like there's no point in going in there. But I did everything else.
I see. As reviewers, we get like it's a weird thing where we've talked about this before, where you people believe you. I mean, you should roll credits if you are reviewing a game, but sometimes like your situation, it's like I know how it ends. I've watched the ending several times, and I've played probably more percent of the game than most people have. Do you really need to roll credits at that point?
Well, for me, like I mean, just I think Breath of the Wild's ending was kind of like subpar in my opinion, in the sense that it's not a challenge. It's just like you know if you go out of your way to get every upgrade and everything, then you're just overpowered and he's a cakewalk. Like the
Mm-hmm.
game literally by doing every story mission, the game cuts the final boss's life bar in half at the
Mm-hmm.
beginning of the match, and that's I guess rewarding you, but it also makes it just too easy. You're all of a sudden you're not challenged. So yeah.
It's true. That's why I like watching speedruns when they just get the necessary weapons and then just go. They're also
Yeah.
crazy. I'm trying to remember what else. There's going to be a lot of games, and most of them are probably going to be triple A's. But if you guys can think of some indie games that you played as well that came out in 2017, mine would have to be Horizon. Horizon Zero
Okay.
Dawn. I remember the first time seeing the tall necks and being able to climb up on that first tall neck will always stick with me. That was kind of like when we were talking about Breath of the Wild, where you come out to that plane and then it shows all the land you can go to. That's kind of what it was for me. I was like, This is sexy. This is hot. Okay, I can dig this. I can dig this. This is, man, I love video games. Let me just say that.
Yeah. So as I'm like trying, as we started the show, started making a list of notable releases
Hmm.
in 2017. Like I basically anything that's kind of worth mentioning, and already I'm only at May, and I got like 15 games on my list,
Yes.
which is ridiculous.
Yeti, what's up, Yeti? Thanks. I know you can't be here, but thank you for dropping by. We do have ID Tech on the list. We actually have the next 3 weeks now that we've done this show planned out. So I hope you guys rock with us. We got some things to finish first and some things to look forward to in the future. There's going to be some multi-parters, and there's going to be some cool one and done topics that I hope you guys like. What's up, Bean? What's up, Jay? How you guys doing on this fine evening? Don't forget to share the stream out. Let your grandma know because she's, 2017. She might have been playing some games too. That was like 10,000 years ago. We've been in this Panasonic for what, 50? I don't know. So I do have a
There we
list
go.
of every major release in every month. So let's just go through some of these, the ones that I can know that are like super were popping at that month.
RE7.
January. Yep, probably Yakuza 0. That came out in 2017. That game is so good.
Mhm.
Let me just pull up a little Resident Evil. So this is a GameSpot list. Resident Evil. Would you say Resident Evil? They gave it an 8 too, and the average rating is an 8.1. Would you say Resident Evil 7 is probably one of the best Resident Evil games?
Yes, it definitely brought the series back. It was a return to horror because like Resident Evil 5 and 6 were essentially action games, and
Yes.
nobody wanted that.
Mm.
Nobody asked for that either. Um, so it was basically like just kind of like a bit of a like reboot-ish, but it's not really a reboot, but it's like basically a kick in the groin that the series needed. Uh, and I don't know if that was actually a good phrase, but either way, it's
It,
still
it
it's a
works.
shock. It's a shock to the system. And that being said, I did play this game. Like I'm not a horror person, but I played like the first hour. I did a let's play of it on my personal YouTube channel, and I was like screaming like a little bitch. Um,
Yeah.
and I even played the kitchen demo on PlayStation VR, where it was like a precursor
Mm-hmm.
to the game, and it was very like intense. Like you're tied to a chair, and you're like it's very and like nerve wracking. And it's like I've had like so many experiences where like I had my friends play it, and then in the VR game in the kitchen demo, your character gets stabbed in the knee. Like, but you're the character. You're the one sitting
Oh,
on the chair. And so, like my cousin, when he played it, when he saw it happen, he said, "Ow!" Like that doesn't make any sense. He didn't get hurt. No one was touching him, but he reacted like he's being stabbed in the
yep.
leg.
Because your brain
Like it was
can't
very
differentiate
yeah
that.
yeah. Like the point of view is you're in the chair, so you're seeing the leg get stabbed. Like you're seeing like the leg as an extension of you. And
Mm-hmm.
also, I never tried it, but I know Resident Evil 7 is playable in VR from start to finish.
Yep.
I would never do that. Like I
No.
already can't stand it on a TV. Like I already get my heart racing on the TV. Just put me on VR. I will lose my shit. So yeah.
Yeah. That's the only way I have not played the game, and I'm with you. Hell no. Especially with Jack and Marguerite, and that moment when he busts through the wall to come get you, it's like, no, I'm good. I watched, I think, Game Grumps start to play it, and they got to the point where Mia cuts your hands off, and I was like, nah, you know what? I'm good. Like, at first I wasn't convinced by the first person perspective because we were so used to over the shoulder and 5 and 6 the cheese, and this, I can't picture Resident Evil not being this going forward, which is, I don't know if that's a good, ooh, Marguerite, you ugly, good or a bad thing, but I do, I hate spiders. Hate bugs. I do appreciate that they truly pulled like an Assassin's Creed Origins and said, no, we're messing up. We need to sit back and revamp and really think about what we're doing here. Oof, God, this game was so good. And then the ending. And then how do you find out how it ties into Resident Evil Village? You're like, oh, okay. You can either
Well, I
love it or
still
hate it.
still don't know, but like I said, I only played like the first hour and I was done. I was like, okay, well, this is good. It's like I can see quality, but it's not me. Again,
Mhm.
I just want to reiterate, I don't do horror games, but I will say this. I would probably like if somebody were to play this game in front of me, I would probably sit and watch them play it like it's a movie kind of thing. Like that's the only way I can experience it.
That's fair. You don't need to be the one behind the controller to enjoy a game. I don't like that mentality of, well, if you're not the one playing it, even if you're sitting in the same room or watching somebody play it, you don't get to have a valid opinion on it. It's like, no, I watched the whole thing. I was there. I can still have a comment on this game. I don't,
Yeah.
but I'm different. I just want people
I
to
mean,
enjoy video games.
yeah, I mean, like I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that one. I'm a little bit with you on that, but like I will say I don't feel like it counts if it's a let's play. Like if you watch a let somebody let's play a game from start to finish. Yeah, but really, I mean, I think it's got to I think there's more of a when you're in the same room, you have like the ability to backseat drive by telling them to do something. I think that that's probably a better thing. Plus, like games like Detroit Become Human, like those kind of games are like the best to play in a room full of people.
What if you're watching it somebody stream it?
Oh, yeah, then the chat. Ooh, that's an interesting one. Yeah, I don't know.
Because we are privileged that we get to have Game Pass, we get to have games given to us. I'm thinking for the people, and I was in this situation before Game Pass. I got money for every game that I want to play that comes out. So I would rather watch
Uh-huh.
somebody play it and then judge it. Doesn't and I have such a short attention span with stuff that I could watch it, but does not mean I remember it when I to go to play it. So
That's
that's why I'm
true.
like, pop off. I'll watch this. Why is best play in a room full of people being what's DBH? I don't know what DBH is. Dead by Daylight? No, that's that DVD.
Mm.
But yeah, 2017.
Detroit Become Human.
Ah, because you get to all experience it.
Because the game has a lot of times where you're like have to make decisions about what to do or what to say. That anybody in the room can suggest what to do and what actions to take. And that's why games like that are great, especially because like I cheat in that game essentially because there are certain decisions that there's a countdown timer where you have like seconds to make a snap decision, but
Oh, I don't like that.
I just press the pause button
Yeah,
and let us and then allow everyone in the room to debate the course of action.
I like that. I'm not good with timers on games. Don't rush me. Don't rush me at all.
Wait, no. Like when those happen and you pause the game immediately as soon as you start seeing the timer count down, I'm like everyone's like freaking out, ah! Like everyone's like "Ah!" like everyone's like shouting and stuff. Like yeah, it's an experience.
What if I read slow too? Damn, they're just gonna cut me off like that. I didn't even get to read the whole thing. Yakuza. Yakuza 0, if you guys, it's not on Game Pass anymore, which is unfortunate. But if there's a Yakuza game to get into, it's definitely Yakuza 0, because it's obviously the newest. So it'll give you kind of the backstory that you didn't get if you started at Yakuza 1. Like the Majima
Mm.
backstory. Why can't I remember the main character's name? Oh, I'll remember it one day. But it's just so different. But it also feels like it's a newer game because there's a lot of cool stuff that isn't in the older games that is in that game, like some of the side missions, and they really go in depth with the slot car racing, which if you guys know Yakuza for its side missions, you can spend a lot of time in the slot car races, like an ungodly amount of time playing the side games.
Mm-hmm.
An
It's like a
awful
whole game,
thing.
a game within a game.
Mm-hmm. Yakuza, the cutscenes
Eh,
too are literally 30 minutes long sometimes.
Let me just ask you, like, and this is something I don't know Yakuza very well enough, but is
Mhm.
Yakuza basically like just better Shenmue?
Shenmue died so Yakuza could run. I always say that. Yakuza took the great story. Well, even Shenmue didn't have fantastic storytelling, but it takes like a great story and turns it into it's a J drama. You're playing a J drama the entire time that revolves around a Kamurocho, which it's an open world, but it's a tight open world. So it's not like Gran Turismo where there's nothing to do. They're literally on every corner. There's a bar you can go to, a restaurant you can do, a side mission you can do, and it doesn't feel like it's wasting your time to just wander around Kamurocho and discover these cool ass areas. Yakuza is definitely, if you love open world games, but open world games that don't waste your time, definitely I think you would like Yakuza. I think right now two, two, three, four, five, six, seven, and like I guess seven is like a dragon is on Game Pass, and they're definitely worth playing.
Hmm, fair enough. By the way, I just finished my list, and I think there's like 50 games on this list. Like,
Right,
geez, so 2017 was insane. Like, even the bad games are like pretty good in this
right.
list.
It's crazy. What's up, Hustle? A game like Erica is perfect for this conversation. A game where there's choices you can make, I think is good to have to play with people. Like Mass Effect 2 is a great example because if you mess up at the end of Mass Effect, even Shepard will die, which, th-
Oh,
yeah, is an interesting thing how they end it and then go into the third one. But if you mess up, you're losing your whole team. Also says Shenmue's the granddaddy and
he's a
Yakuza's
gimmick.
the son. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Yakuza scored 8, an average rating of 8.5 for the users. Wow.
Nice.
Let's see what else is in January. Hitman, the first complete season. Conan
Mm.
Exiles.
There's Gravity Rush 2 for those that care about that.
It's true.
But the I only played the first Gravity Rush game, so I don't know anything about this one. It just sucks that this game, this franchise. Oh my god, it got a 9. Holy shit. Uh
Yeah.
well, anyway, that's insane. I know this game was very well liked by the fan base that was playing them. Like I myself included. Like I liked the first game. So it just sucks that the Vita was like not a good launching pad for a franchise. So what they did is they ported Gravity Rush 1 to the PS4 first, and then they made the sequel to the PS4, which obviously the PS4 being a much more successful console. Um, so yeah, for some odd reason, Sony wasn't quite able to make fetch a thing in this, and I'm dating myself with that reference there, but still.
Can't believe you just said that. It's totally a thing. It's a thing 30 to almost 25 years later. Fetch is totally a thing. And Gravity Rush is a thing too, because it's probably the only game I've heard people talk about for the Vita.
Oh yeah, yeah, that's true. It's really good. It's really unique, and uh, it's basically got this like yeah like this anti-gravity mode where you can manipulate where the gravity is going. So she's like in this weird state of like flying slash free falling through the world, and yeah, it's good camera movement. It's like where all of a sudden gravity just goes anywhere you want it to go, and it's yeah.
That's wild.
Uh, yeah, it's cool. It's good. It's good gameplay, little gimmicks going on there.
Damn, maybe I'll have to give it a try. Fire up my PlayStation 4, the small plane and oh, it looks like it'd be a little nauseating cuz I can't play Mirror's Edge. I love Mirror's Edge. I can't play it though. Is it got that same kind of like motion blur and all vibe there?
I mean, I only played it on this little tiny Vita screen, so I don't know. I don't get motion sickness either.
Bitch.
But I liked it.
This guy no, yeah, this guy too. Let's see. February. February is a big one. Poochie and Yoshi's Woolly World, which we talked about on the last Nintendo.
I hope you watched those shorts I sent you.
So cute. Oh my
You did
god.
watch them? Okay,
All of
good.
them. I watched them like 6 times and I was like, okay, I have a problem.
Good. All right, there you go. That's the best thing that came from that port.
Such a good. They were so cute. Oh my god. I can't get old. Oh, I love stop motion and to see it done in a game like that. I just think the Yoshi Woolly World games are adorable and Just to put that extra thing in there. Oh,
And then
thank you.
Crafted World, the sequel, is like even more adorable. I was like, oh god, yeah.
Mhm. They
But
know what they're
yes.
doing. Neo. Jesus,
Mm.
that came out in 2017. Damn.
Yep. February 2017. Yep. Which is really
For Honor.
ridiculous. Like February 7th. I know it's February 7th, but like literally end of February, like either the 28th or something like that. No, Horizon Zero Dawn came out. So you got two big PS4 exclusives coming out in the same month.
Uh
Not to
huh.
mention you had Gravity Rush 2 in January, like literally at the end of January. So it's like, or middle of January. So it's like Sony was definitely on something when it comes to like the output they were in like the opening quarter, because you got
Mm-hmm.
January with like I said, January had Gravity Rush 2, February had Neo and Horizon, and then March had Persona 5, which is not made by Sony, but it was an exclusive. So
Mm-hmm.
it's like you had t- an overabundance of games, and not just like just games, but like top tier high quality games that are just like, oh, that's those kind of games, like the output that we were talking about here is what made Sony the king of the generation.
Yep. I 100% agree with you there. And even yeah, Resident Evil 7 wasn't exclusive, but they had the exclusive VR mode. They had
Yeah.
all that stuff and special stuff that went with it. So Sony, you killed it, girl. I don't know what you was sipping on 2017, but can I get a little sip to be that productive too?
All their ducks in a row. It's, you know, what's the worst part about it is like the thing that's not mentioned in this conversation is that uh, almost the entirety of all of the PS4 generation, Sony never had a holiday lineup because they kept on missing their release dates. They kept on delaying their games into the first quarter, which is why the first quarters are always bangers, because they were meant to be holiday games that didn't quite make the mark. So
Now
I
I
don't know.
wonder if they just do that on purpose.
I don't know. Like okay, so
Mm,
third parties tended to dominate the holiday lineup for Sony. Like you had your
yeah.
Assassin's Creeds, your Call of Duties, and stuff like that. They were basically the taking up all the oxygen in the room.
Mm-hmm.
Problem with that is that like also it's also on Xbox, so you don't have any particular reason to choose PlayStation over Sony or over Microsoft. So the only thing that was going on for them is that Sony, because they were like the leaders of the sales, they were able to secure Call of Duty's DLC packs first, and
Mm-hmm.
the marketing deals. So every time you see Call of Duty, it would be PlayStation
Mm-hmm.
in the commercials, and to the general consumers, people didn't even know that they were on X. It was also on Xbox, So
That's true. I don't- They just know what they're doing. They somehow figured it out. I don't know what kind of crack they were sipping on. Can they have some of that crack back? Crack back. Back crack. Anyway, For Honor. For Honor was a lot. It faced a lot of controversy. Released February 13th. I think the biggest thing that changed For Honor was um there was a tournament, and even the guy who won the tournament said, "Oh yeah, I haven't played in like 4 months or something like that," and still won the tournament. There's a lot of cheating, there was a lot of
wow.
things. The game has turned around. I will admit
Yes.
don't play it very often because I'm like, it's not my type of game, but I appreciate that Ubisoft stuck with it because they've already shut down Hyperscape, which wasn't even around for a year and a half, really.
They really went out of their way, and they even made it free to play. By the way, it was a
Hmm.
$60 game at first, but then they were like, "All right, it's free to play." And I don't know, like between like this and other Destiny or Destiny 2, um, I don't know why they don't just publishers just don't release the game free to play from the jump. I don't know. It just seems like they're always more successful in the free to play than they are when they're in the sell, because when you're at the sell it at full price or whatever, people aren't going to jump on. You don't have a player base, and then on top of that, you're going to go out of your way to make cosmetics anyways on a $60 game and season passes and DLCs and stuff like that.
Yep.
You're already using free to play model anyways. You can't. In my opinion, I don't think you can have your money both ways.
Hmm.
And when you do, it's just grimy. It's just grimy.
That's I think they should have done that for the Crew 2 because the Crew 2 died a swift death, and the what is it, Riders Republic? They should have gone free to play, but it's still a $60 game. Those are Riders Republic is a sports game, which is already a niche game, and you're gonna charge people for it. I don't know. For
I
Honor,
did get to play the game though. I played it at a PlayStation Experience at PSX in
mm,
2016. I cut in line by accidentally, and I was like, "Well, you know what? I'm just not gonna be. I'm
yeah,
not gonna be honest and say that I cut in line. So I'm just gonna take it when I played it."
yeah, it's a good game. I just it's not my style of game. I'm not good at like chivalry and those type of games or Nidhogg. I'm not good at those games, so that's why I'm like, yeah, I'm good. I don't need to play it, but it has turned around. And Ubisoft, make your games that you put effort into free to play because Hyperscape was free to play and that game tanked. But no, that was also a battle royale and we're starting to see battle royales peter out because we're all tired of them at this point.
But are we though?
I don't play
Yeah.
battle royales, so I don't know.
Halo. Fortnite released this year in 2017,
That's
but
true.
not. It's like later in July. But um, yeah, it was the start of the revolution in gaming. I think
Mm-hmm.
Fortnite. I mean, a lot of things at this point are Fortnite's fault. Let's just be real here.
Mm-hmm.
When it comes to trends and what the metaverse and yeah,
Paragon died
it's.
so Fortnite could run. And Paragon was a damn good MOBA.
I forgot about Paragon. Holy shit.
I talk about it every time I talk about Epic Games. Like, y'all remember Paragon? Yeah. That's why I'm against them. But Chocolate, we've talked about this game, Night in the
Yes.
Woods.
Yes. Oh, 9. It's deserving of that 9.
Although
Very
the
good.
average user rating 6.9, y'all don't know
That's
class.
okay. First off, I hope I hope you're memeing at this point. Like that's
I
the only
hope
way I'll
so.
justify it. But yeah, the game definitely just punches you emotionally in the gut. Uh, Definitely, it's definitely a I'm gonna say millennial game. I would feel like, but maybe I guess Gen Z can relate too. But it's definitely one of those like adolescence coming of age stories that just sort of speaks to you know it speaks to the act of figuring out what you want to be when you grow up when you're already supposed to be grown up. That's-
Yep. It
So
deals
yeah,
with a lot of mental health, a lot of like stuff like that. Don't mistake its simple graphics for what's going on.
yeah. So true story. I'm a college dropout. So yes, the amazing Lewis is a college dropout, and then her character also flunked out, and so it literally was speaking to me and that same like mental anguish that she was feeling when she was coming home and to tell her parents. But she, by the way, she came home and was lying to her parents that oh, it's just a
Mm-hmm.
little visit and stuff like that, and she was delaying the inevitable. And I did the exact same shit with my parents, and so yeah, it's too for me. Like this game kind of hits a little too close to home, but I still love it though.
It's so good. And that's wow, that's kind of crazy to think about. Same time you went through the same thing and the story is telling the same thing. And there's also the
Yeah,
underlying mystery of what's happening in town while you're coming
yeah.
back.
We didn't even talk about that. There's also a second story going on, like an actual active story, and then there's the passive story in the background. So it's like there are two things going on at the same time. So there's like a mystery and intrigue, and it keeps you hooked to see it through. But there's also like this emotional resonant story with characters that look cutesy and stuff and adorable and very welcoming, but it's mature.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
And getting to re-know your friends and their own personal things that they're going through. It's such a good game. It was on Game Pass. It left probably 3 months ago, but it's one of those ones I would recommend you guys go and pick up if you can.
honestly, I'm surprised it wasn't like nominated for like a game of the year or hopefully it won like in the indie category or something like that because I think it deservedly so. It needed that. It needed to win something.
I think so. The I can't. You put it in a great term of it's a game that's gonna hit you more than you think it is, but I don't think people really get how it'll hit you because I was I think Dan was talking about it, and then I was like, okay, I'll go see what it is. Not expecting much from the first look, but holy shit is all I can say to that. And there's another game I'm trying to find that I want to recommend that's kind of the same. Uh, so I did a review on this, God, in 2020. It's called Welcome to Elk. It's a little indie project from a team in Norway or somewhere in the Netherlands, and it tells us it's what they did is gathered stories from people around them, people that had stories to tell. And if you look at the art, you're like, oh, this is kind of like whatever, but it's telling stories, some traumatic stories. Well, Fig, that's your character, tries to figure out life, and it's implied that this is kind of like limbo or before you move on to the afterlife. But at the same time, it's not, and it's really weird. But the stories are what moves the game forward, and it's kind of put together really well. And there's ton of these little mini games. You get to know these people, and then like Night in the Woods, there is something underneath that you have to figure out, and it's just really well put together. Like these are the actual
Damn.
people telling their stories as you go through the game, and it's some of them are heartbreaking, some of them are great, some of them are sad, and you got to learn everything.
This reminds me of like a point and click adventure from the 90s, by the way. Like I used to play them a lot off of CDs, CD-ROMs. It
Mm-hmm.
just has that like throwback graphics going on, but it's also prettied up, like HDified.
Mm-hmm.
So you can tell it's like an art style.
It's very good, and the company has also made a couple other games that are very like reflective games as well. And like this story, this lady, you when you first meet her, you see the kid. She's not spending time with the kid, and then you find out her husband was gunned down in front of her and her kid, and that's why she is the way she is. Like, oh, okay, okay, I get it. A little
Hmm.
sad. Yeah, but
Yeah.
it's definitely of the Night in the Woods, which is Night in the Woods is also PC, Mac, Linux, PS1, Xbox, uh, the hell is NS and iOS.
Hmm. So I did look up Night in the Woods. It did get nominated for a lot of stuff. It didn't win anything at the Game Awards. It got nominated for Games for Impact and Best Indie Game.
Hmm.
However, at the BAFTAs, it did win for Best Narrative.
Yeah,
Hmm.
you know, I would rather win a BAFTA. I'll be honest. Game Awards is cool,
That's so.
but the BAFTAs,
Yeah, it's prestigious.
it
Yeah.
is. It's for those that don't know what the BAFTA is. It's the British Film and Television Awards, which
Yeah.
they're if something's
It's
winning at the BAFTAs, it's winning for a very, very good reason.
yeah, it's the British Academy Awards basically, and they don't just do movies and TV. They do games too.
Hmm. Which
So
is I love them for including that. It's Game Awards is very much a popularity contest. That is a Academy Awards.
yeah,
Halo
so it's
Wars.
like the MTV Movie Awards versus the Oscars. That's basically what
Mhm.
it is.
Yeah, honestly, that is exactly what it is. Halo Wars 2 also came out. The YS Origin, which the YS games span back to the 90s. And the big bad bitch, Horizon Goddamn Zero Dawn, which, ironically enough, I still have not rolled credits on.
Oh, shame.
I have it twice. I bought the first edition and then I've bought the complete edition with all the DLC. So it's like, and I was hesitant to get into this because the only Guerrilla games I had ever played were Killzone. And I was like, well, I don't want to play anything from them that's not Killzone. So
Hmm.
I'm sorry.
So,
Horizon's a good
so,
game.
so why did you buy the complete edition? Why not just buy the DLC internally within the original vanilla version?
Black Friday sale, and I was like, it's like $10. Might as well just get
Oh,
it.
okay, yeah, okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah, I was gonna say I would have accepted. I bought it on PS4 and then again on PC. Then I would have been like, okay, dope.
I'm waiting for a sale on PC. I'll be honest. The way that it dropped on PC and the issues have been fixed, but the way it dropped, I was like, I'm just gonna wait. I'm gonna wait. What do you think of Horizon Chocolate? Because this is probably like Fame's one of his most favorite games of all time. Don't get him started on Baloy.
Babe. I don't really have much experience with it. I played like the first opening hour of the game just to try it out, and I actually liked it. It definitely was like an open world game. Like so it came out during the time when Breath of the Wild right next to it. So like Breath of
Hmm.
the Wild like revolutionized open world games where Horizon like iterated on open world games. So
Hmm.
it's like the best version of a Ubisoft like open world game, but done to like very good standards from like
Hmm.
story, art design, and everything like that. So it's got all that going on. It just kind of sucks that like it became in the cultural landscape of things, it became like antiquated really quickly. Is how I sort of see it.
Okay, I see that because it is very much the tried and true formula.
Yes.
A lot
Yes.
of
It's like
fetch quests.
yeah. And then also like, you got your computer generated like facial non mocap with the side characters where like Aloy has all the detail and the perfection, but like all the side characters kind of look a little Mass Effect Andromeda for my liking.
Yes.
So,
Thank you. Thank you for saying that. Thank you.
I'm
It's
sorry.
okay. You know what? I always say this. I play Anthem, so I can take some shit talk. My feelings aren't hurt at all. Nope.
Yeah.
I appreciate what Horizon has done, and I can't wait to dive into Zero Dawn. I just don't have that chocolate money to get a PS5. I'll wait
Oh,
for it to
I'm
drop
guessing.
on PC.
I'm guessing you would be like, I'm not buying the sequel on PS4. I'm gonna buy the sequel on PS5.
Yeah, honestly, I would
Hmm.
because
Oh,
if you're going to make the game for that system, I might as well play it on that system.
fair enough.
Like if I'm gonna get if the you telling me I can get the best experience on PC or the next gen, then I will wait to play it. Plus,
Fair enough.
we have tons of games we have to get through already.
True. Yeah. True. I still got to play this game before I play the second game, anyways. And
And I'm
and
very much of that mindset. I want to finish the previous game before I go on to the next one.
and Sony was very kind enough to upgrade the game for me for free on the PS5. So since
Hell yeah.
I got the PS4 version. You put it in, it gets a patch. Boom, PS5 4K graphics. Either it's a patch, or this is just possibly again. I'm just dumb, but it could be just the PS4 Pro version, which also runs in 4K. So
Could be. It could
yeah.
be a bit of the PC stuff that uh
Oh yeah, that's true. That's true.
they really need to do the tall neck, man. When you first come across that first one, climbing up to the top, and I like the way they integrate the puzzles into the environment. It's very new Tomb Raider, and you'll see when we get to some of the other Tomb Raider games where it's like they kind of force you to do puzzles. You don't have to climb the tall necks. You just
Hmm.
won't have your map, but you don't have to do any of the puzzles.
I will say this. I do like that the oh, come on. You gotta do better than that. All right. I do like the fact that the game does allow you to remove all the HUD elements, so that way you can see the beauty of the open world. Like both
Hmm.
that and Breath of the Wild both did that, where it's like, you know what, just get all this noise out of my face. I want to see this beautiful landscape. I want to see this work of art. And
Yeah.
that is that much I can appreciate that, especially at the time when this was like, the PS4 was the hotness. This was the graphics powerhouse. This was the showcase. This was a technical showpiece. I remember at PSX, the year before in 2016, they were showing off HDR technology using this game as a sample.
Hmm. This Horizon is a beautiful game, and y'all, if you were burnt out on RPGs, then I wouldn't recommend picking it up right now, but it definitely should be in your backlog to play eventually because it's a weird game. It's futuristic, but also ancient at the same time. And until you
Ancient,
dive in, you're not gonna get it.
ancient, futuristic. I did also get Aloy in Fortnite.
I got Aloy and Genshin.
Oh yeah, that's right. She is. Oh damn. No.
Yeah,
You
it's
know,
like right up.
I gotta say, like, it's just this is like the new world that we're living in, right? Because like in the
Hmm.
'90s, companies never pimped out their characters.
No,
So
not without a
yeah.
steep price to it.
Although I will say this, sometimes being pimped out too much is too much of a good thing. Like I will give you this. I'll give you this example. Shovel Knight was being poured out to every game you can think of. He was guesting in every fucking game, and it was ridiculous. Like it became less special for
Yeah,
Shovel Knight to guest in your game. He was a fighter in a 2D fighting game. He was in he was damn he was in Rivals of Ether. He was in Runbow, and like I think he was in Ukulele, maybe I don't know, but like he was just in every fucking thing. Like it was just ridiculous. Yeah,
that's okay. Yeah, yeah. Sometimes you got to keep it a little special.
yeah. It was still special when he ended up in Smash Ultimate as an assist trophy, but I would rather have been a fighter. But still,
Yeah.
there you
This is an indie I'm gonna give a shout out to. It's Tormentum Tides of Numera. Numera. It's on Game Pass right now. If you like Pillars of Eternity, you're gonna like it. Um,
go.
Techland, if
Techland.
you guys, yeah, they did a Dying Light, so it's top down. Or I guess it's the isometric Diablo style game that has a dark story to it. And go play it. It's on Game Pass. Go enjoy it. It's actually one of those futuristic, but yet not ancient, futuristic, but kind of like magic based worlds. And it's what am I thinking? Divinity kind of is what I'm thinking of, or Pillars of Eternity, stuff like that. Just go enjoy this game. It's weird.
This is definitely not a game that I would have ever predicted Techland making, since
Mm-mm.
I know them for their first person open world efforts, so it's like this is yeah, basically a Diablo clone.
Yep. Very
So
D&D, very story based. Yeah, it's really good. What's up, King? How you doing on this fine Tuesday? Couldn't think of the day. But yeah, go play some Tides of Numenera. It's solid. What did they give it? They gave it a 9.
damn,
A lot of things are getting 9s today. Okay.
that's quite a hidden gem there.
March. We're not
March
looking at the cover image with the March.
March 3rd brought us the introduction of the Nintendo Switch,
Yes.
and with it we got 1-2 Switch. The famous, most well-renowned, world-renowned, critically acclaimed "Get the Party Started" game that is 1-2 Switch.
Yeah. So we did cover this game last
Hmm.
last
Or
ranking Nintendo Direct, so you guys should go watch
yes.
that.
Hmm.
And Chakalaka breaks down everything. Uh, should have bundled it in with the Switch. That's all I gotta say about it.
Yes. Yes.
Let's see.
Definitely is a good game if you don't allow it to overstay its welcome. Is
Mhm.
my review, my little quick review on that one.
The absolute goat 10.
Oh my god, essential. Oh, nice. Um, yes, definitely worth every praise it's ever gotten. Game of the year, game of the generation, I would say. Um, Definitely has become a style now where it's like, everything is open, everything is Breath of the Wild now. It's
Mhm.
like there's Genshin Impact, as the aforementioned Genshin Impact. There was damn, what was that Ubisoft game? The one that kind of sort of flopped. Uh,
In
it's like
Immortal Phoenix Rising.
that's the one, Immortals Phoenix Rising. Yeah. Basically everything, it's like it's now become like this. It's like Breath of the Wild is now a verb. It's like, well, let's Breath of the Wild this, you know. It's also not only just a verb, but it's also an idea, where it's like like Nintendo has like this unwritten like decree where
Hmm.
they're Breath of the Wilding all their franchises, right? So like Mario Breath of the Wild, obviously with Mario Odyssey, Pokemon Breath of the Wild with Legends Arceus,
Hmm.
Kirby Kirby's getting like a 3D, first real 3D game actually. Yeah, so it's like everything is just like it's like this idea where you want to rethink what is your franchise, like what is,
Hmm.
completely rewrite the book. And I like what they did, and they're just applying it to all of their franchises, where it's like
Yes.
let's rethink what is a Mario game, what is Pokemon, that kind of stuff.
Yeah. So this is Breath of the Wild 2 gameplay or trailer, but do you think that is going to backfire one day? Because that is exactly what Ubisoft did once Assassin's Creed got popular. Like, let's make oh my god,
Watch Dogs.
Watch Dogs. Let's make the other one. It just came out. Far Cry like this. Do you think
Oh
that is
yeah,
eventually going to backfire?
it became like, how do I put this? It was just inundated with too much product. Basically, it was like, yeah, I can sort of see that, but also this is Nintendo we're talking about. Like they got multiple different IPs in their camp.
Hmm.
So, and also like just Nintendo's design philosophy is completely different from that of the industry norms, where it's like it feels like you third party companies are all about making games by committee, making games with algorithms and being safe. Whereas
Hmm.
Nintendo, whenever they, this could be all talk, but also their product shows this as well, bears it out. But Nintendo tends to want to focus on, fun first.
Hmm.
They will not greenlight a game unless they have a hook, like a mechanic that's cool. A
That's
lot of
true.
times they come up with mechanics and then they'll put an IP on top of it. And if they don't have an IP on top of it, then they'll make a new IP. Think about, like, that's why Splatoon came about, because Splatoon was going to originally be a Mario game, but then they were like, this doesn't make any sense, so let's get rid of that and make new characters. Um, so, for instance, we've gone on. Someone has gone on, and then someone at Nintendo's gone on record saying, "We're not going to make a new F-Zero game because we don't want to make a game that we've already made before. If it's not new, then we're not going to make it." And I'm like, the fans hate that, but they also respect that.
Yeah. Do you think it's gonna hold up? Because like the tide is shifting for GTA, where people are doing retrospectives now. I've seen
Hmm.
started the tide to turn on Breath of the Wild, where people are like, it's not as interesting as you think it is. It's a lot of side quests, and I was like, okay, it could be a lot of
Wow.
side quests, and it could be not interesting. I hold that opinion of GTA 5. GTA 5 is not as interesting as people think, but
Hmm.
people are still
Interesting.
having fun with it, so I don't care.
Yeah, it's crazy to think, because I know that there's still a Breath of the Wild community that still like speeds runs it and hacks it and plays with the physics and stuff like that. I've seen cool like videos even still being made, like, see this cool trick, see this cool exploit that I found. It's all
Exactly.
about like just like engineering something badass.
And I've
Um,
never played Breath of the Wild, so when I do, it's going to be a new experience for me. So I don't. You can have your opinions. We all have them, but let somebody else enjoy it first. But if you also haven't played GTA 5 by now, girl, what's wrong with you? They give away that game free like
for
6,000
free.
times by now.
Yeah, I should have held out. I didn't. I bought it like, I think I bought it when it was like on sale for like $40, and I'm like, I should have held out.
Yeah, but then you get the like when they gave it away on Epic, it
Hmm.
crashed a lot of times because people were just trying to get in. Like,
Damn.
it's Skyrim. If you don't have it by now, what the hell, man?
I'm
But I get it. You gotta
probably
play it.
I'm probably the only a person that calls themselves a gamer that doesn't have Skyrim.
Probably, probably. Yeah. Uh huh. I mean, I rip into Miss Bubbles all the time when we talk about this because Miss Bubbles has played Skyrim. I don't know if she's rolled credits on. No, she hasn't rolled credits on it because she's never started the main story where it starts the dragons. Like, you've played this game for how long and you've never fought a dragon? And I,
Lazy Bean Lazy Bean doesn't own Skyrim either, and she's never played GTA 5 before.
you know what's funny though? I know Bean. She owns GTA 5 because we play GTA RP together. So she could go play it. Go play it. Go play GTA 5. Get the story. The story isn't bad. It's just once the story's over, there's not a lot to do in the world. But with Breath of the Wild, there's still a lot to explore because I guarantee you haven't found all the Korok seeds. You
Yeah.
haven't found every side quest. Come on. GTA,
By the
once it's
way,
over, it's over. Hmm.
did you know that the Korok seeds is actually shit?
I hate that now that I know that.
Like, if you look at the actual Korok seed, it's like swirling like a poop. Like, if you look at the actual Korok seed in the picture, like it's that.
Ah,
So presumably, the when you find the Koroks, they are shitting themselves. Like they get startled by you, and they just give it to you.
now I have to see. Give me it. Fuck! Chocolate, we can't be friends no more, man.
See, there's your mind blowing right there. That's your mind blowing fact that I give you. Just a little. Yeah. Did you know?
We can't be friends no more, man.
and
I can't
then
fuck with you.
and then when you collect every single Korok seed that the game has, like all 900 plus of them, right? You get a big shit, like a big turd, like a bigger Korok seed that's just humongous for your efforts.
I
It's
hate
like
that.
Nintendo. It's like Nintendo telling you "fuck you"
Yeah, pretty
for
much.
going out of your way to do something you didn't have to do. So you're gonna be rewarded with shit. It's
Oh,
like kind
shit.
of like fourth wall breaking there. Just hold this lump of turd.
I hate that. And while we're talking about a game that has shit in it, I love this game, but also, if you don't know, Nier Automata has 26 endings for every letter of the alphabet. So there's a waste of your time. Some of them are shit. And do I have the achievement where if you look up to be skirt, it pops the achievement? Yes, I do.
Oh.
It's so easy to get though, the way the camera wants to, like, especially when she's going upstairs. Twist, yeah. Yeah.
Interesting. I had no idea that that was a thing, but you know what? I don't know why games just don't do that as a standard now at this point.
I
Because
think
we
the
know we
first
all do it.
game I saw it in was Lollipop Chainsaw. And then they did it here too. This game, it's great. Um and those 26 endings don't mean that it's the same game every time, because once you finish the first time playing as 2B, you then start playing as 9S, and it changes. I didn't get to finish it before it left Game Pass because I'm like, look, I don't got time in my day to go through it 26 times. But Nier Automata is an
Uh,
amazing game.
I wonder how many people just only played it once with QB or is it 2B? Yeah.
It does tell you that there's different endings, and once you start your journey again, um, the story will change, and you'll start playing as different characters. So
Hmm.
they should have gone through, and the game kind of prompts you to. So if you've only played it once, you're literally missing 90% of what's happening in the game. Because that character, that's A2, I think, if I remember her name correctly, and it you play as her in one of the endings, and the music is so good, and it's a platinum game. I know I've been
Yes.
talking shit on Platinum lately about how their games are starting to get recycled, but they are actually, this one is really good. Near Automata, the God Edition, become as gods, or whatever the latest edition is really good. So,
By the way, Platinum was in financial strafe at the time. This success of this game brought Platinum back out of the hole financially.
that's crazy. That's actually crazy. But I can see why 26 endings, although some of them are like little bullshit endings where you take a you can take a turn and it'll like end the game. And they'd be like, "Oh, this is ending E," but it's got a 9 with an average rating of a 8.2. Chef's kiss. Seriously, go play Near Automata. Let's see. Oop, what's up? What else is up? Near Automata. Where did it go? Ghost Wildlands. Wildlands, I think, is a fantastic game. Better than Breakpoint, but it's it suffers from the Ubisoft feature bloat where it is so long that it's almost impossible to finish. Because if you don't do some side quest, it can change your ending, but it doesn't tell you that. There's just so
Mm.
much to do in it that I'm like, okay, it's good, but it could be better. But if you like tactical shooters, where you can direct a squad or have people with you, and there's like a Sam Fisher makes an appearance,
Of course he
a
does.
Predator makes an appearance. There's a couple other crossovers that make an appearance, and it's a decent game. It's good with
Is
friends.
this isn't the game that I was thinking of. I was thinking if it was that one with the actor, the guy that plays Shane from The Walking Dead.
You
Ah,
know, he might be in there. I don't know. They had like a shit ton of crossovers at one point.
no, no. Isn't it? Damn it, John Bernthal. There's a Ghost Recon game where John
Breakpoint.
Bernthal was the main. Okay, Breakpoint. Okay.
Yeah, it's the next one, which is an awful one. I will
Ah,
admit that.
damn
Uh,
those bastards.
they loaded it up so heavy with microtransactions that they had to take all microtransactions out when the game launched because people were so mad. So there's your
Wow.
there's how it went. Marvel vs. Capcom 3 came out. Can you tell us about that a little bit, or do you know?
It it's a port re-release.
Okay.
Basically, it was for the PS3, 360, and then when it comes to Marvel and their licensing, they had like Capcom had this really weird thing where it's hard to buy that game. It wasn't on any digital stores, and so if they were like, "And it's coming back, y'all. Let's go. Let's all celebrate. We got Marvel versus Capcom." And so yeah, it's basically like the best version of Marvel versus Capcom because it was a really weird thing where it's like Marvel vs. Capcom 3 came out in like in the spring, and
Mm-hmm.
then it kind of sort of tanked a little, but then they re-released it in the fall that same year, and as Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3, and it turned the ship around. So
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah, originally
nobody
released
when
in 2011. Jesus.
when people yeah that's the fall November, yeah, that's Ultimate, yeah, it's the Ultimate version. Yeah, so when people think of Marvel vs. Capcom 3, they're gonna almost exclusively talk about Ultimate, you know. But
Okay.
yeah, it's one of the best games I will say in the series. It's like a tie between 2 and 3. I would say.
Mm-hmm.
It's got a cool art style. Like it's got this comic book art style. Really dope.
Awesome. Binding of Isaac. If you guys like Binding of Isaac, hard as shit. Made me cry just a little bit the last time I played it. But definitely, if you like those bullet hell type games, yeah.
Yes,
So I can't talk about 2017 without talking about Mass Effect Andromeda. So
they lied. They lied to us.
this game was first announced in 2015. So I have come to enjoy this game. I've also put mods on this game. So maybe
Hmm,
that's why I've come to enjoy it. I think it has the best combat of the entire franchise, but the weakest story. But also, how do
hmm.
you follow up for Commander Shepard? You don't, because that's where Mass Effect, the next Mass Effect, is going. Right back to the original crew, because we saw Liara pick up a shard of Master. I was about to say Master Chief, Commander Shepard's
Hmm.
um, helmet or chest plate in the E3 announcement. Was it last year? I think.
Let, let me ask you this:
Mm.
is this Mass Effect 4 canonically, or is this like
Technically,
a spin-off, or is it like
it
a like an
is.
offshoot?
Technically, it's Mass Effect 2.5 because it happens between 2 and 3.
Ah,
Because you leave while they're building, while they're trying, Shepard is finding out the weapon, or the Citadel is a weapon, and they're building the arcs to take you out, and then it's at 600 years in the future when you get to the planets. So they don't know what's happened. They don't know the Commander Shepard thing. They don't know about the collectors. They don't know about anything. But canonically, it happens between 2 and 3, and then the beginning happens in between 2 and 3, and then 600 years after everything happens.
Hmm.
It's
So
not
I,
awful.
I, I
It's
would have
not
liked
great.
to have seen the crossover happen where Commander Shepard shows up in the game. That would have helped things.
You get Commander Shepard's armor, and Liara makes an appearance. Ali Hillis, she has some voice lines in some of the recordings. Uh, but yeah, nobody's the same. They wanted to completely leave it branched off because you're not in the Milky Way anymore. You're outside of known space. You're on the edge of everything,
Ah,
and it's same weapons, almost same armor, but the crew, some of them are level, like PB's lovable, Drax is lovable. Actually, we had, oh god, no, Vetra. We interviewed the voice actress, Danielle Rain, about 3 years
mm,
ago now. It's on the level one YouTube and level one website. We talked to her about Mass Effect and if we would see her in any future Mass Effects, which she couldn't tell us, but it's like, what is your reception to being, because once you're a part of a Bioware franchise, that is kind of like a big thing. And she's like, as weird as the game was for a lot of people, the community has been everything. They've welcomed me, they've been supportive, um, they've fought through it not being a Mass Effect because it doesn't feel like one, but at the same
mm.
time does. So I'm glad it's become part of the history. It could be better. It could be worse though. But there was a lot of issues when it launched because I played it day one. I remember that.
Were they ever fixed?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Like the
So
weird
like,
faces, they were fixed?
yes, those were fixed. I don't know if they're fixed on console though. Again, I did play it on PC and then I did mod it. And I want to show
Okay,
you
fair enough.
guys before we leave this. This is the Mass Effect. I want HD. Why do you low quality? No, this is a 16-minute video. I was going to show you the new trailer for the next Mass Effect game. But Mass Effect Andromeda, it's not great, but the combat is the best. And the fact that it was handled by BioWare Montreal, which was only a support studio that did DLCs for them, also
Mhm.
did not help because the studio closed down. So we'll never get an ending to the game. The game doesn't have a true ending. Let's see, March, April. We're on March. Well, let's move to April.
Wait, I think
Uh,
there's one other mobile game that came out in March that doesn't seem to be on the list. I believe it
mhm.
came out in March of 2017. It came straight to iPhone, and that is Super Mario Run.
Oh shit! I forgot about that game.
Yeah. Um, I bought that game for $10. It was Nintendo was trying to make a statement and nobody listened to them. And then, you know, uh, because by the time at around this time, everyone is used to free apps and at most 99 cents. Nintendo was basically saying, we believe in the value of the game. We don't want to diminish the value of our IP. So we're gonna put it on phone, but it's $10. We'll give you the first 5 courses for free to try it out, to sample it, and then to know that if you'll like the game or not. And
Hmm.
then you can just pay for the rest of the game. And unfortunately, nobody took. It was very well downloaded, but because we as consumers failed to vote for our wallets, whereas I did,
Hmm.
now we're getting gotcha games from Nintendo on phones, such as your Mario Kart, your Fire Emblems, and stuff like that. Dragalia lost.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm not a fan. I tried to win the battle, but it did not even Chocolate Money can do it. So
Also, mobile games, and we forget this a lot when we're talking about games because we are a different breed. We play games almost every day. We buy games. We review games. Mobile gamers aren't gonna they aren't console gamers. If you're playing on your phone a lot, you said
Yeah,
it, free
yeah,
or 99 cents. So I can see why this game did not
kind of
succeed.
flopped. Yeah,
Yes.
it was a little bit of a mixed bag. It
Hmm.
was I don't know if it was like the kind of gangbuster numbers that Nintendo would have wanted. I enjoyed the game. Like it was a quality game. Like
Hmm.
it was a really good game, and so I beat the whole campaign. And then I never actually beat the game twice because they put DLC out, and I never played those extra courses. But like the game at launch, I did complete the game, and it was worth my time and money, in my opinion. So yeah.
Yeah. Shout out to another indie game, Thimbleweed Park. There is two games in this series, Thimbleweed Park and then Dolores's thing. Dolores's
And
Mini
Epic
Park Adventure.
and
Huh?
Epic gave away Thimbleweed Park for free for like months. It was
Hmm.
free to claim. It might even still be free to claim for all I know.
If you like the 80s like Monkey Island games, but without the hangups of you need to chase this dog needs to chase you around this pole, wrap its leash around it 4 times, and then you can move on. Yes, you're gonna love Thimbleweed Park. The dialogue is funny, the story is really good, there's an otherworldly element to it, and I just think it is so well written and such a funny little thing that I have to shout out Thimbleweed Park every time I see it. And I didn't realize it came out in 2017 either, because I definitely did not play it then. But great little game, seriously. It's like a solid 8 hours, I think. Or maybe I'm just dumb. The big April Persona 5. I have it, still have yet to play it, but I'm waiting for it to drop on PC because I refuse to put 500 hours into a game right on PlayStation right now. I can't.
What the
I
hell?
can't do it. To finish it completely, that's about what you're gonna need. Because you can't run it once. You
Yeah,
got to
that's
run it a
true.
few
That's true.
times. Because
I wonder if it's worth buying the game vanilla. Like I know Persona 5 Royale is a thing, and it's like
I would just buy
I
the
wonder
Royale.
if yeah. Fortunately, I only own vanilla Persona 5, so still
Me
I
too.
don't know if it's still in a shrink wrap though. I don't even know.
I just bought it for the steel case, and then I'm like, because the steel case is sexy, and I was like, once Atlas realizes, hey, we can literally print money by dropping stuff on PC. Yeah, I'm for it.
Oh yeah, for sure. Wait, did Persona 4 come to PC yet?
Yep. Persona
Okay,
4
good.
Golden about
Mm.
last year.
You know, those bastards delisted Persona 4 from the Vita. So
Yeah,
I guess they needed them. At least it's still available. That's
yeah. I think I started playing Persona 4 on the emulator. So now I'm like, okay, I'm going to drop the emulator copy even though I'm like 200 hours in and just start on PC. But I know if I start
Pers-
playing it, I'm not going to play anything else for like a month.
I wonder if there's like some kind of contractual thing where it's like they're not allowed to put Persona 4 on the Switch. But like you play Persona 4, I'm assuming.
Hmm.
Okay. Where would you rather play Persona 4? Would you rather play it handheld on the Vita or on PC?
I would like to play it on the PC.
Hmm. Okay. All right.
A game like that, it's just the graphics and story. I would prefer to play it on PC, but it also is a game from like 2012 that was on PlayStation 2. So it is one of those things. It's wherever you feel comfortable playing it, just play
Well,
it, but play the game.
like just in the sense, like I wanted to gauge your reaction as to like some games work better in handheld because games can be pick up and play, quick
Hmm.
sessions, uh, put it
Not
down kind of
Persona.
stuff. Okay, okay, that's what I was trying to get engaged is like if handheld was a better format than like on a monitor or TV.
Just the amount of time you have to spend in the other, not the other, that's Stranger Things, but the other realm, the Shadow Realm, makes it just put it. I feel the same way with Octopath Traveler. It's like I want to play it on a monitor. I don't want to play it on handheld right now, even though that is the perfect game for handheld. I just want to play it big, bright, enjoy the beautiful art, and I'm gonna feel the same with Project Triangle.
And the Switch is a perfect avenue because it's both.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Exactly. Bulletstorm came out. That was the re-release. That was the Duke with the Duke Nukem voice actor too. I think that didn't do very well. Sexy Brutal. I've heard about that one. Stardew Valley Collector's Edition. Ukulele, which got roasted.
Yeah. And luckily they bounced back in the sequel, which they went
Mhm.
from Banjo-Kazooie to Donkey Kong Country,
Mhm.
uh, which is a good move.
Very
By
good
the way,
move.
did you know of like a little mini controversy that happened with ukulele?
No.
Okay. So, nothing to do with the game itself, but um, you know the YouTuber JonTron?
Mhm.
Okay. At the same time this game came out, around that time, JonTron went on a debate with a Twitch streamer named Destiny,
Destiny. Yep.
and he got canceled
Okay, I
after that
remember that
stream.
now, yeah.
Has happened almost within that exact same window that the game is about to release, and he does that. Okay, so JonTron is like a very notable like Banjo Kazooie fan. So
Mhm.
the devs reached out to JonTron to be a guest voice actor on the game.
Oof.
Um, so he was, I don't know if he was credited or whatever, but you know, on the characters on ukulele, they basically speak in gibberish, like the way they do
Mhm.
in Banjo Kazooie. So it's just JonTron, like like just doing a random voices, like random noises. So it's not like he's like a named character or whatever. He's just playing a character in the background who has a speaking line of just gibberish, but like subtitles coming up, and you don't
Mhm.
know it's JonTron. It's not like you don't know.
Mhm.
But right before the game came out, they did a quick hot patch and patched it out and got
Oh,
and
wow.
replaced that gibberish dialogue with some other guy.
Ooh. That's there was it Yakuza 6, 5 or 6 when it came out, one of the voice actors, which for us isn't a big deal, but in Japan it was a big deal. He was caught using like cocaine and stuff and drugs, and he was
Oh yeah, I
swiftly
vaguely remember the
removed.
story. I
It's
remember this
like,
story. Yeah, that's oh my god.
and I was like, that's it. To them, it was a big
Honestly,
issue.
I think studios like Warner Brothers wish that they could do a hot patch like that because of like Ezra Miller getting arrested right before
Mm,
the secret of the Fantastic Beast movie comes out.
yeah,
It's like that's yeah, that's I guess that is a luxury that gaming has, but still it's still kind of grimy feeling.
it. I understand it from their perspective as a talent. What I don't like is what Rockstar does, where you could work on the game for 9 years and then you leave on the year it's launching and they'll remove your name from the credits. I don't like that.
Fuck. Oh,
And that's an
that's pretty
alleged.
grimy.
I don't know if they actually do it, but there's been stories. What else? Outlast 2, probably the worst sequel to a game I think I've ever seen in my life.
Holy shit! Did not know that.
I instead of the psychological, yes, it couldn't be set in an asylum, but let's go for the priest that touched somebody that shouldn't have, and that person did horrible things and angle instead of continue on with the like psychological torture aspect that they had. Yeah. Siberia 3, great third game into the Siberia franchise, which spans back to the early 2000s. What Remains of Edith Finch? People have loved that game. I've yet to actually sit down and play it. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Page not found. Awesome.
What the hell? Quite literally the best Mario Kart game. Uh, like I've I watched a YouTuber. I don't know the name of the YouTuber. Like I just know the name of the video. He
Mm.
literally put titled the video. I played every Mario Kart game in 2022, and he
Oh my
literally
god.
like reviews, like gives full depth like analysis on every entry from the Super Nintendo even to the arcade ones.
Oh my god.
And just goes about, and he talks about what each game brings new to the series and what returns and what leaves, things like that. And after watching that video, like I had my reservations because I don't like the I try to check myself for recency bias, by the way.
Mhm.
So I didn't want to just claim that it is the best Mario Kart game. But
Mhm.
having watched that video and seeing everything sort of like breaking down everything, like this is definitively the best Mario Kart game. So
And they
yes.
obviously believe that because they just put the shit ton of new tracks when we should probably be on Mario Kart 10 by now.
Yeah, yeah. 5 years later, the game is getting DLC packs like out of nowhere, out of left field.
That's crazy to
Um,
me.
so 5 years ago, this game came out, and then also before that, it was 3 years prior to that. So this game is technically 8 years old if you count the Wii U original launch. Which, by the way, like they improved on the Wii U. I don't know if you know that, but on the Wii U, you can only hold one item at a time, and so in this game you can hold two items at a time. So they also had the Wii U had the shittiest versus mode you can possibly think of. It is like the worst, and they completely revamped it. And so that versus mode is what brings it over the top, where it's like it kind of sort of either if it doesn't dethrone N64 versus mode, it ties with it.
Damn. Holy shit. Mario Kart 8, you know what you're doing. Little Nightmares also came out, which is a great game. The second game came out this last year. Uh, what is this? May. What's up, May? Prey. It was a vast difference from the other Prey. It wasn't bad. It just was different. Let's see.
I remember the IGN
Injustice
review.
2.
I just remember the IGN review on that game, where it's like, didn't the guy had a crash and he had to get a hot fix from the developer and stuff like that, and
I think so, yeah.
he couldn't beat the game or whatever because of like a state where he couldn't progress or something like that.
I think that was the IGN. I love the art, I love the setting, but if you've played original Prey, it's very different.
And it's
Uh,
the same studio that made Deathloop. So I reviewed
yep,
Deathloop. So there you go.
go.
I can like this game already just by knowing the pedigree.
Yep. Injustice 2. Injustice has, in my opinion, some of the best stories for DC characters. Bad
Yes.
Superman, crazy Wonder Woman, give it to me.
Yeah, it inspired a whole separate line of comics. Like it became its own universe.
Mm-hmm. I agree with
I'm not
that.
gonna go back into it, but in a previous episode, and I don't know which episode, but in a previous episode of Cogs in a Machine, I went on a rant about Injustice 2. Go
Mm-hmm.
see said episode. Can't plug it, but just know that it's
I
there.
think it was the fighting games.
I don't think it was the fighting games episode.
Oh
I think it
shit.
was before that. I think it was even before that. It came up in like a story, like as a side tangent to a different topic that we were talking about, and it just came up, and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna go off, and then I went on my soapbox.
Why don't you guys watch and tell us? Because sometimes we forget to. The Surge, which is okay. Surge 2 is better. Let's see. Friday the 13th, which was swiftly abandoned not even a year later. A lot of copyright stuff came out of that. Don't Starve, great games. YS Origins got released for the Vita.
The
June,
Bridge Crew. Just gotta go back.
yeah.
Shout out the Bridge Crew.
Bridge Crew is actually good. Tekken 7 came out in June.
Hmm.
Drift 4, Elder Scrolls Online Morrowind, which was the first DLC pack ever for the ESO game. ARMS came out. We did cover that just a little bit. Final Fantasy Online got Stormblood. Elite Dangerous came out, which
Wait,
it's on
Dead by
PS.
Daylight? What the hell? I did not know that. That's
Me
a
either.
Friday the 13th and Dead by Daylight came out around the same time, and they are basically the same genre. And I like how that Dead by Daylight is the one that was successful. You would think that
Yeah,
Friday the 13th being a bigger IP, that game would win, but Dead by Daylight instead did integrations where it's like this
exactly.
character's Resident Evil is guesting on Dead by Daylight and stuff like that, which is very
Well,
smart. It's
yeah.
very Fortnite of them.
And you
But
got to kind
yeah,
of know Jason. You got to be attached to the Friday the 13th series, which the last Friday the 13th movie probably came out mid 2000s. It was actually good. Oh, if we were going to actually good Friday the 13th games, then it's going to go back to the 90s or 80s even. So
I think in the early 2010s there was a Friday the 13th reboot that didn't
it was bad.
starring the guy from Supernatural.
Yeah, it wasn't good. Stormblood, Elite Dangerous. If you love space stuff, and if you love Eve without the drama of Eve online, yep, there you go. July, Kirby, Final Fantasy Zodiac Age came out. Call of Duty Modern Warfare Remastered. I remember that one. Dream Daddy. People love
Oh
Dream
my
Daddy.
god. Let me ask you this.
Dream Daddy.
Is
Mhm.
going back to June, is Crash Insane Trilogy eligible? Or is it because it's like a remake or a port? I don't know. It's not a port, but it's a remake of already old release games.
For our sake of not having to keep referencing remakes, because there was tons that came out, even tons that came out now.
Hmm.
Let's say that it is a spruce up of an older one, and we'll just go. It was great in 2017, but it don't count.
Okay.
Let's see what else here. Dream Daddy. I can't. People with Splatoon 2 came out.
Hmm.
Fortnite, the paid early access. Pyre, another great game. Metopia for the 3DS. Ton of
It just got like recently ported to the Switch, Metopia. Yeah.
mm-hmm. Long Dark, that is leaving Game Pass soon, or I think it already did. Tacoma, oh, Tacoma's such a good game. Telltale's
Ooh,
Batman Within.
that's a good game right there.
I
Uh,
know, yes. Oh God,
yeah.
yes. Uh, I know if we don't talk about this, fame is gonna hunt us both down. Hellblade came out also in 2017.
Jeez. Oh my God. Like I don't know, man. It just seems very game of the year is so hard to do and we're only halfway into the year. Like,
Yeah,
gee.
I had to start speeding it up there, otherwise we would be here forever. But let send you a sacrifice. So the second one, I don't care when it's coming out. I just want them to take their time. It's a lot of to deal with mental health, and I always say people should play this. It's a tight like 8 hours, if that. Um, but it's an intense 8 hours. If you guys don't know, Senua has um psychosis. So there's voices in your head as you're playing. Through each ear there is different voices. That's why it's recommended that you play with a headset on. And she's listening to the voice are talking to her while she's trying to save her lost loves in the underworld. So she meets Hela, she meets gods and stuff, but it is an intense experience uh, to go through. What she's going through, you're feeling because the voices are screaming at you, or they're helping you, they're leading you in the wrong direction. It's You got to be ready to play a game like this. Would you agree? Oh, that's the Blood Eagle. Wouldn't you agree, Chakalaka?
Yes, definitely. Never really think about like when video games need to come with a trigger warning, but there you go. That being said, this game is one of those games that like sort of became like the new. It raised independent studios. It raised the profile of indie games altogether, where indie games can now punch above their weight class. You
Mm-hmm.
know, when you think about like before this game, you think about indie games. Sort of indie games had like this art style that came with it, like this expectation of a 2D or throwback retro art style because it's
Mm-hmm.
cheap and easy to make. But now with like Unreal, I believe this is Unreal Engine if I'm not mistaken.
I think
But
so. Yeah.
like with the power of like Unreal Engine and like even a small studio like Ninja Theory, who were essentially a no-name studio at the time,
Mm-hmm.
um, can essentially make what could be considered like a game with AAA graphics. So
Easy. Yeah, it's really good. Lawbreakers. That died a swift death. Uh,
yes.
don't test the might of Overwatch. I think Overwatch was 2016 or 15, and Cliff Blazinski decided to poke the bear of Overwatch, and it was a good game, but you had to have skill to play it. It wasn't just everybody can play it. Night Trap, the iconic Night Trap. Watch out behind you. That came out. That was the 25th anniversary. Singing into that. What was it? Tennis racket. that game was also around the same time that Mortal Kombat was, and it was another reason for the ESRB because it was
Hmm.
violent at the time.
Yeah, now it's quaint by now. I
Yeah,
don't even know. I don't even know if it got an M rated when it got re-released. I wonder if it got a teen rating for its 25th
probably.
anniversary.
Agents of Mayhem, which was totally not the next oh Saints Row game, but it was. Observer, which is another good indie game. Sonic Mania also came out. No,
The best Sonic game that year, because Sonic Forces came out that year, and it was the
yeah,
fans made a better Sonic game than Sega did.
yeah, yeah.
And for those that don't know, but Sonic Mania, the studio that made the game, is were original fans that made, like, mods and stuff, and original games using like bootlegs essentially.
Hmm.
And they were talented enough to get Sega's attention. So instead of being DMCA'd, they got hired and put out one of the most well-reviewed Sonic games in a long time.
Probably in the last like 10 years, I'll be honest.
Probably, yeah, yeah.
The next episode of Telltale's Guardians Galaxy, Uncharted Lost Legacy, which for some people is the best Uncharted game, but that's the one that does not have Nathan Drake in it.
Girl power.
Absolver, Girl Power, Absolver. If you love kung fu, no well, there's weapons in the game, but it's a weird one, kind of like Sifu. Ark, Survival Evolved. I didn't realize Ark came out in 2017. Damn. Okay. Hello Neighbor.
Creepy.
Mm, it's there's somebody that just did I think it was this year, last year, did a review of Hello Neighbor, like a full breakdown. That game is broken to all hell. Uh, my only Switch game I have, Mario and Rabbids Kingdom Battle. I bought it because it was like $10, and I'm like, yeah, when I get my Switch, I'm gonna play it. Whenever that happens, it happens. Pillars of Eternity, which is on Game Pass, and Pillars of Eternity 2 is also on Game Pass. Great games. Resident Evil Revelations, which I didn't even know that was a thing.
It was it's a port.
Okay. XCOM 2, which I think XCOM 1 or 2 is being given away on Epic right now.
Two
Yeah,
XCOM 2, yes.
yeah. Yakuza Kiwami. Yakuza is great. We've already talked about them. And Life is Strange Before the Storm. Life is, no, uh, True Colors, Life is Strange Colors, whatever is being given away on Game Pass right now. Knack 2, everybody's favorite game.
Again, Sony was trying to make fetch a thing.
Fe- Fetch is a thing. Fetch is a thing. Come on. Destiny 2 came out. Damn. Really?
Whoa. And Destiny 2 is 5 years old.
That's kind
Holy
of,
crap.
wow. That's crazy to think
Oh
about.
my god. Wow.
And don't forget, like we talked about when we did our Bungie dive, Destiny 2 really got its resurgence after it left Activision.
Yes.
So this is Destiny 2. Not the
Yes.
Destiny 2 we see now. Because what a game that is. Divinity Original Sin. Divinity is great. Death of an Outsider, which is another great. That started off as an expansion and then turned into a full standalone game. I scrolled too fast. Metroid Samus Returns on the
Which
3DS.
which you'll have to wait for us to talk about that game on
Mm-hmm.
the first episode in May, when we
Mm-hmm.
talk about the Nintendo Directs uh series part 11 or whatever we're on.
Yes.
Um, but I will say there is a story about Metroid that we're going to cover in that episode, so stay tuned.
And y'all know the only Metroid I've played is the original one, so I'm excited. Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite.
The
Thimbleweed
worst Marvel
Park.
vs. Capcom game.
Oof. Guild Wars 2 Path of Fire, that was an expansion for that. Pokemon Gold and Silver for the 3DS. Batman and the next sequel, Fallout 4 Game of the Year Edition. Fallout 4 did not deserve a Game of the Year edition, but anyway,
How
I
dare
think,
you call yourself a Game of the Year edition?
right? Honestly. Ooh, Cuphead came out September 29th.
Yep. What
That's
a
wild to think.
what an original game. And also, I just remember the feeling of having to wait forever for that game to come out, and it's already 5 years old.
Right?
And it just got DLC at the beginning of this year, by the way.
DLC and a TV show.
Oh yeah, and a TV show. Yes. Damn.
Yeah. October, Forza Motorsport 7, but it's not Horizon, so nobody cares. Stardew on the Switch, A Hat in Time, which is a
A
cute
Hat in
little,
Time.
such a cute game.
Definitely a throwback to like uh was it Mario frick. What's the what's the one on the GameCube? Sunshine, yeah, it's Mario
Yeah,
Sunshine
Sunshine.
basically.
Yeah, pretty
Yeah.
much. Middle Earth and Shadow of War and Evil Within came out 3 days apart from each other, which
Whoa.
Shadow of War did have its controversy because the one
Mm-hmm.
developer passed away and they tried to charge $10. No.
Mm-hmm.
And Evil Within 2, it was similar to the original, but it was also like half open world, half linear. Great. I don't know. I had fun playing it and I'll probably play it again, even though I don't like horror games, but it's got enough action. Age of Empires Definitive Edition, Fire Emblem Warriors, Destiny 2 on the PC
You need
dropped.
to go back. You need to go back. South Park, right there. Go down
Oh, hold on.
South
I
Park.
just want to see when Destiny. Oh, it launched for consoles first. Oh, okay.
Oh, okay, nice. Okay.
Fractured
Yeah. South
Butthole.
Park, the fractured butthole. Yeah.
No,
No.
butthole. Say it right. Butthole.
Yes. So yeah, that's I haven't played that game, but I played the first game, and
Mm.
like I actually played the first opening minutes of the first game, the second game. Definitely want to play that game, and it is if the first game is anything to go by, this game is probably like one of the like definitely
I,
just as good, I will
I've
say.
yet to hear a bad thing about it.
Yeah, it was the very opening of the game is you get to okay, at the beginning of the first game in the stick of truth, you get to build your character and you make your character and I made my character look like me. Like I made
Hmm.
a South Park version of me. And then in the sequel they realized that they you couldn't make a girl in the stick of truth. And so in the at the beginning of the second game, they give it like this fourth wall breaking moment where Cartman was like, we're sorry we assumed your gender, because
Do you remember
you can
when
make
they
a
had
character a guy or girl.
the slider for the your skin tone and it was the difficulty slider?
Oh yes, I completely forgot about that. Oh my god.
They really didn't give a shit. Not
That's
at
so
all.
wrong.
So
That's so wrong. I don't know. Can you do that in this day and age right now?
oh, you
Or
can do
I
it.
don't.
People are gonna bitch though, but you do what you want. Make what you want. Just
Nice.
like they finally, after years of silence, came out with Assassin's Creed Origins, which is so good.
Yes, it brought back Assassin's Creed to like
It did.
prominence. I will
And
say I do remember E3 of that year,
yep.
and they were heavily advertising. Obviously, they were blitzing right for Assassin's Creed Origins, but you know what else they
Hmm.
were blitzing? They were blitzing the Xbox One X,
Hmm.
and it was about to launch, and they showed off Assassin's Creed Origins running on the Xbox One X. And on this very room, and like right behind me, there's a 4K TV mounted on this wall. And it is at the time, it was the only 4K TV in this house. And
Oh.
so I literally streamed the YouTube video in 4K of that gameplay demo that they showed off at E3.
Hmm.
And oh my God, it felt like one of those come to Jesus moments where like, oh my God, next gen is here. Because
Hmm.
there was this shot of an eagle at the beginning of the trailer.
Hmm.
And I remember like going to my nephew, I was like, look at that 4K on that eagle. And we just started laughing because of how photorealistic it looked.
Yeah.
It was so good.
God, I that was a good that was a good year. That E3 was banging, man. Holy
Yes.
shit. And then speaking of banging, right after that, Mario Odyssey. Actually,
Yes,
same day.
same day, same day. Wow. Ooh, what the oxygen in that room right there. But still, at least they were two different consoles, like PS4, Xbox One versus Switch. So it's like,
Hmm.
yeah, Nintendo fans were eating that year,
Eating so good.
eating so good.
So damn good. I mean, you just drop your new console and you're dropping Odyssey, not Odyssey. You're dropping, yes, Odyssey. What? My brain is gone, but Warriors, all these other games we just saw, and still dropping 3DS games for people that don't have a Switch yet, and Breath of the Wild. Like, come on, you eating good tonight. Uh, for those that cared, New Colossus was good. Wolfenstein. I enjoy New Colossus. I enjoy Youngblood. I enjoyed. I can't remember what the first Wolfenstein was called. Wolfenstein games are real good. New Colossus was gory though. Damn, Bubsy, you got a game? You're back? Uh, didn't think Bubsy was still a thing, but here we are.
Hey, but Bubsy strike back, but we strike back.
We strike backer. Call of Duty World War II came out. Neo for the PC came out. Sonic Forces, like you said. Doom
Hmm.
for the Switch. Need for Speed for the 3DS. Ew. LA Noir for the Switch. When we dive into Rockstar, we're going to talk about LA Noir for so long. Oh my God.
Can't wait.
What a game. What a game. Battlefront, Star Wars Battlefront 2, Elder Scrolls came to the Switch finally, Sims 4 for the PS4 and PC, Resident Evil Revelations 1 and 2, and Siberia 2 came for the Switch.
Oh, you can't skip over Pokemon Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. It was
Oh shit,
the
yeah.
farewell. It was the farewell to Pokemon on the 3DS.
We're 3DS is still alive and kicking. Okay.
There you go.
And December.
This was a
Doom.
crazy one because, oh yeah, well, obviously Doom VFR, but this is a crazy one because the Xenoblade Chronicles 2 came out on the Switch, and it was the big December game. And it's like I told you, like every game, every month, Nintendo Switch had a banger, right? And
Mm-hmm.
December, the fact that they released a game in December and it was, how do I put this? Because a lot of times publishers want to put their games out before Black Friday to get the holiday sales. And the fact that Nintendo was confident enough to put out product that's top tier in December, and I've seen so many YouTube videos of people raving about you got to play this game.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, yeah,
Yeah. Also, a month after it released on PC, Curse of Osiris for Destiny. Steep got the Olympics package because that was the Winter Olympics year. Fallout, Okami, everything looks like Resident Evil got a gold edition. All right, that's that list. So let's just go through what Metacritic deems the best, and we'll probably uh, be on our way
okay.
with that. Let's see. Breath of the Wild was number
Hmm.
one by rank platform. Odyssey, Breath of the Wild for the Wii U, Persona 5, Divinity, Okami HD, What Remains of Edith Finch. If you guys like Edith Finch or games like that, Annapurna Interactive, great publisher. Honestly, they have some great games. Undertale, which I've yet to finish. Shovel Knight, Mario Kart, and Bayonetta. Bayonetta came out like 2011. Why did it?
It was a, PC port.
Ah, that makes sense. Best.
Yeah, like so this list is just any game that came out in 2017, port, remaster, remake, whatever. It's just everything.
Ah,
So
okay.
yeah.
Persona 5 was
So
the PlayStation 4 game of the year. Horizon was the exclusive of the year. I don't like
ooh,
this
why
list.
I don't know about that one. Sure, why not? You know what? Give him a bone.
Let's just go with this list. Best video games of 2017 from IMDb. Mario Odyssey number one. Mario Deluxe, Breath of the Wild, Persona 5, which
Okay.
they say is 2016. I think it came out in
It came out in
2017.
Japan in 2016.
Ah, makes sense. Okay. Horizon, Divinity, SteamWorld, Dig 2, Hollow Knight.
Hollow Knight. How do we you must have skipped over it. That's I blame you. But Hollow
I'm
Knight,
gonna
holy
go
shit.
back to when did
It's
you come out? Okay, don't give me a date.
Just do Control F and find it. No
No
matches.
matches.
What the hell? Okay, here, let me see if I can find it on my end here. Hey, no, I got. It came out in February 24th for PC.
Bitch. Why no show? January, February.
Clearly, they're not comprehensive as we thought. Shame on you,
No.
GameSpot. February
Yeah,
24th, Horizon Zero Dawn, same day as Horizon Zero. Oh no, wait, no, no, not
not
the
even
same day,
here.
not the same. Wow.
Ah, okay. Damn.
Yeah, it came out on PC first. Yeah, it was an indie darling that is Hollow Knight. It got like expansions on expansions on expansions, and it got a sequel. So it's
Mm-hmm.
like definitely a Metroidvania worth looking into. So if you like,
It's really good and cute.
you're like, yeah, if you like something like Ori and the Blind Forest, then this is like
Ah,
your next play.
yeah. Sims did, I think Sims really did come out in 2014, but if there's expansion packages, they like to say, oh, this is the release date. And sometimes in the algorithm, it boosts it up.
Hmm.
Cuphead, Gregoria, not Gregoria, Gogog, no, can't say that. I think that's on Game Pass now too. Okami,
Gorogoa.
Gorogoa. Thank you. My brain could not put that together. Near, Sonic Mania, Final Fantasy Stormblood, Metroid Samus Returns, Zodiac Age, Splatoon. Man, people really love this Edith Finch. Final Fan, no, Resident Evil, Crash Bandicoot, 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 Hat in Time, Woolly World, Guilty Gear. That's a name I haven't heard in a long time. A Guilty Gear game. Wipeout, Mario Luigi, Toll Warhammer, Doki Doki. I forgot about Doki Doki.
Oh my god. Yeah, I forgot about that one too. I didn't know that came out in that year.
The End is Nigh, Kwame, Uncharted, just Hellblade,
Wow, Hellblade
Ashanti.
that low.
Yeah,
Hmm,
that's. I mean, it's still 8.7.
that is true.
Danganronpa, remind me of Little Nightmares, Cat
It's just
Quest.
the
Never heard of that.
competition. The competition is so steep. It's ridiculous.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because like snipper clips shouldn't be here.
Yeah, but I like that game. It was so good. It was a launch title for
Not
the
above
Switch.
Assassin's Creed Origins though.
That is true. Well, I'm not gonna. I can't argue that one. Even I never played Assassin's Creed Origins, but I know that there's no way.
Oh, it's technically even rated higher than snipper clips, but it's okay. I don't care.
Interesting.
Pokemon Tournament, MLB The Show, Cyber Dimension, Blade Chaser, Kingdom Hearts, the 2.8,
Hmm.
Cars 3. It's not. Why are you so low, Cars 3? Only at a 7? I've heard good things about. I think I actually have this download. Sexy Brutal, Pinstripe, Butthole, Super Lucky's
Lucky's
Tale,
Tale. Is that the
which
sequel,
is
right?
uh,
The one that was
yeah,
better.
yeah,
Mm.
and it's really good. Sniper Elite 4, Sniper Elite 5 is actually about to drop on Game Pass, which is crazy to me. Oh, I already talked about that. PowerPoint Golf Story, Golf Story. It's an RPG
Yep.
golf game.
Yep. The one I told you about to check
Yeah,
out. Yeah.
definitely gonna Fire Emblem Warriors, Star Trek, Observer. This got a re-release actually too. Once the actor that did the main character, I think he passed away. It got a re-release. Layton, which is a Professor Layton game. Psychonauts in the Rhombus Rune. Man, Just Dance. And of course, Night in the Woods. This is a top 100 with Mario Sports Superstar trailing.
Not that good a sports game. But yeah, looking at my list, I'm gonna like just shout out stuff that I put on my list that we didn't cover.
Yeah,
Apparently, Tales of Berseria came out, which Tales of Arise is like the current game that came out this year is
yeah.
the resurgence of the Tales series. Um, so probably a hidden gem there. and then I
Hmm.
see we got Hey Pikmin came out for the 3DS, which we talked about that. Releasing for the very first time, the Super NES Classic came out that year. So
Oh,
an unreleased game called Star Fox 2 was included in there. So that was technically the first official release, technically a new game, Star Fox 2. um,
Jesus.
I don't think I think we sort of overlooked Mario and Rabbids Kingdom Battle, but basically it's like if you want to get into XCOM, then you can start with that game. It's the same genre. It's very
Hmm.
approachable. Baby's first RTS, but not in an
Honestly,
insulting way.
no.
Um, let's see. Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's pretty much it. I'm looking at my list. We everything that we touched upon, we hit on. So yeah, that is an insanely ridiculous list here for 1 year. Like honestly, no one man should have all that power.
And it's insanely ridiculous because we also didn't. We talked about one or two indies, but most of them were AAA games,
Yeah, yeah,
and that's crazy to me because the indies also killed it. I mean, indies always kill it, but
yeah.
there
Like,
was a lot of really good ones.
honestly, we were spoiled that year, and I just kind of, I don't know. In my head, I always want every year in games to like either be at this level or exceed it, or like how to put this. When the next year comes, you're like thinking to yourself, okay, how are they going to top this? But game development just sort of takes years to do and years to cook, and it
Hmm.
just so happens that everyone was finishing their dishes at the same time.
Yeah, and I'm glad we don't have years like 2017 often because Breath of the Wild, which I still haven't played, Horizon, still haven't finished. Just those two games, Mario, let's throw in Thimbleweed Park, which I think is the only game I finished. Just those games would have taken the whole year to get through. And that's not including Origins or anything else that was RPG. So it's like, I need these slow years that we're having so I can catch up on everything because I am determined to not through my entire backlog because that's impossible. Some of those games stretch back to the 80s that I'm trying to finish. That's it. I just want to be able to finish this because I know I'm kind of glad it's an unfortunate situation, but Stalker has been delayed indefinitely because now I have time to finish other stuff because Chernobyl is getting DLC, Bloodborne is getting DLC, and those are just games that I've reviewed that I'm going to have to go back to. So like, I'm glad when we have our slow years because then we can just chill and get shit done. I'm playing through
Fair enough.
Hades right now. So,
Oh, nice.
and I'm not a super fan of roguelikes, but Hades is chef's kiss. Everything is beautiful.
I'm actually planning on replaying The Last of Us, which is not the same year,
Ooh,
obviously, but
but still,
uh, still, yeah.
dang,
We're gonna have to do a 2013 in games because I'd say every 4 to 5 years, it's you tend to like 2008 or is it 2008 2013 like roughly every
damn,
5 years ish or so you get the like the aligning the stars are aligning basically.
that is 100% true. Damn, I didn't think of it like that. But what was your guys' favorite game that we talked about, or maybe not talked about? Like I said, we didn't get to cover any indie games except for the ones that were really like lauded or won a lot of awards or were very popular at the time. Because there's some that slipped through the cracks, even some AAA games that slipped through the cracks. Because I bring this up all the time when you like Binary Domain is a solid good game, but you come out 2 weeks before Mass Effect 3 drops, you have no chance in hell of ever being discovered. So, what was your guys' favorite game of 2017, whether you're watching this now or later? Please tell us.
So
Thank you.
now that we covered all these games, let's answer one last question before we sign off here.
Mm,
So the MTV Movie Awards, aka the Game Awards,
yeah.
put out their Game of the Year list. Now, obviously, Breath of the Wild was the winner.
Hmm.
No contest there. I am not even disputing that. I am in full agreement. However, I want to see what do you agree on the nominees selected? Like we know the list. Would you sub out anything? So the nominees were PUBG,
Okay.
Persona 5, Horizon Zero Dawn, and Mario Odyssey.
I would sub out PUBG for Assassin's Creed
Nice.
because that could
Uh,
go in best ongoing game or like best shooter instead of a game of the year, honestly.
fair enough.
Because
Fair enough.
it's going up against story games. If I'm like picking a game of the year, it's got to be more than just like a game I can play in rounds. It's got to be
Fair
something
enough.
that sticks with me. So yeah, PUBG out.
I would definitely sub out PUBG as well, but I would actually either put in either Hollow Knight or Night in the Woods just to get an indie representation.
Ooh, I would put it. I would have put Night in the Woods in for Games of Impact.
Yeah, I think it was nominated for that. It didn't win, but it did get nominated.
Was that the year
But yeah,
that My Dragon Cancer won?
not sure. Let me check here. Uh,
Because that one, when that guy came up and gave the speech, I cried.
uh, the Games for Impact Award. I'm trying to. Ugh. Let's see here. There we go. Games for Impact. Hellblade won.
Oh, yeah, you can't. When they did the deep research for the psychosis, yeah. But if you
Yeah,
guys ever want to have a little like gamer rally moment, it was go watch the acceptance speech for
My Dragon
that
Cancer.
My Dragon
Yeah,
Cancer.
or that dragon. No, that Dragon Cancer.
That
Excuse
Dragon
me. Yeah, you're
Cancer,
right.
yeah.
Yeah.
The dad
Uh,
comes up and gives the acceptance speech. It's a game about him and his family dealing with his young son that passed away that had cancer. And I don't care how hard you think you are, man, emotional
yeah.
every time.
Yeah. You know what's the worst part about it is they had Matt Pat from Game Theory. He was the presenter for the award, and it was such a tonal shift because he's in like smiles and hot
Mm-hmm.
cheery and stuff like that, and presenting an award kind of thing. Like how you do. It's like it's an award show, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the tonal shift between what's being presented and how he's presenting it versus the serious matter of of the
Yeah.
winner, and like what he was, that emotional, like just that spiritual pressure, just you feel it in the room and kind of stuff. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it was kind of crazy. But yes, I do remember that.
That one is stuck with me forever and probably will stick with me for a very long time. Just like 2017 will stick with me. What a crazy year. And if you want to see something even crazier, look at the movies that came out, look at some of the music and the albums that dropped that year. It was a busy ass year. We were sipping on something good that year.
Yep.
I can't
Honestly,
explain it.
like honestly, I would almost kind of feel like when it comes to like I would hope that that year made it so that the console wars were dead for that year, where everyone was eating PC, indie, play Nintendo, PlayStation, like
Mm-hmm.
everyone's eating, even iPhone, like freaking mobiles, like everyone who's a
Eating.
gamer probably had had their plates full. No one's
Mm-hmm.
shit talking on Twitter that year. Hopefully,
Mm-hmm.
fingers crossed. Don't know that if that's true, but knowing Twitter, probably not. But ideally, no.
Yeah, ideally no, but yeah, no on Twitter. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. I hope you guys, if you're watching now or later, we do come back and read the comments. So leave what your favorite game of 2017 was, or maybe something we missed. Next week, it's going to be a nice little topic, something out of the ordinary. That's why I'm not going to tell you guys about it.
Ooh, being coy.
I'm
Okay.
being a little coy, because I did leave them off with the giant you and them last week with the it only gets worse from here. So I'm trying to leave it on a brighter note this week.
Okay.
And and hoping you guys enjoy that. Get all your gaming news from level1gaming.com tomorrow. 2XP is happening. I don't know what we're talking about, but it's going to be good. Thursday is the next episode of Happy Hour. Sunday, the Starcross Gamers, whatever, they're going to be glorious and talk about. Monday, 50 minutes of fame. And Tuesday, we're right back to the gloriousness that is your favorite show on the Level 1 Gaming channel. Let's be honest. I'm the Full Hugger. I don't know when I'll get back to streaming, so stop asking me. Your girl and your brain needs a little mental health break before I run away screaming from everything. I love you guys. Stay tuned. I don't have a review, but there is a game I am thinking of working on. And you guys know I cover ESO, and there was the announcement of High Isles and what more is going to be in the DLC, and that is coming in like a month, 2 months. So get ready for that. And I know you guys aren't here for me. You're here for Chakalaka. So, Chakalaka, what do you need the people to know this week?
I'm gonna throw you guys a curveball, but normally I'm on every other Wednesday for double XP, but I'm actually gonna be on tomorrow. So you're getting me 3 weeks in a row
Oh, yeah.
for double XP. So there you go. So look forward to that, and we're also changing the format up for Ready Press Play starting this week and next week. Um, so Ready Press Play is my podcast. I'm gonna talk about all things gaming and stuff. So where my developer friend Dan Lima, and it's on podcast services. Check it out, and we're gonna do some fun topics where we retool the show. There we go. Almost can't talk there, but yeah,
Thank you guys for rocking out with us. Hope to see you tomorrow. If not, that's okay. We know you Cogs is your favorite show here, so come
yeah.
back next Tuesday. I really hope you enjoy the topic because we're gonna pull out some collection stuff. I'm leaving it still coy, but to pull out some collection stuff, and we're gonna have some fun next week. But we love you guys. We'll see you next week. Stay safe, drink some water, and play a game in your backlog. And we'll see you next time. Bye, guys.
Sarang, sarang, yay.